All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick's Strength and Power. So the topic of today's video is going to be the next big show on the horizon in professional bodybuilding, and that is the Arnold Classic South America, which we are about 1 week away from, beginning on April 12th through April 14th, also known as the Arnold Classic Brazil. Now, the competitor list for this competition was just recently released. I've been waiting for a while for them to finally post this on their website because I only knew of a couple guys that were doing it. But in the past, this is a show that has had a reputation for having some pretty good champions. I mean, including the likes of Big Ramy that won this show back in 2015. So it does have a pretty good track record of bringing out some pretty good bodybuilders to compete there in Brazil. So let me read for you guys this official competitor list that was just released here. So first on the list, you have Rafael Brando, who is a Brazil native. He just did the Arnold Classic Ohio and did pretty well there. So he's probably one of the favorites to win this show just because he's on his home turf. He's probably going to be one of the most popular guys in that lineup just because he's native to there, and he's probably going to have one of the biggest fan reactions when he comes out on stage. And to be honest with you guys, he's one of the more aesthetic of the men's open bodybuilders, and I think he has a fantastic physique. And I think he's going to do very, very well here. And he's one of the guys that I knew early on that was doing the show before the list was released. So he's one of the front runners for sure. You got to say he's going to be one of the guys that's probably going to be a top 3 guy here. You've also got Ecchi Bracamontes. You've got Camilo Diaz. Now, you've also got Juan Morel in this lineup. Now, I'm very excited to see Juan Morel and how he's going to do here because as you guys know, in the past couple of weeks, Juan has been posting a lot of updates, specifically training for and practicing the vacuum pose. And I think Juan is one of the bigger men's open bodybuilders that's able to not only hit a vacuum pose, but he hits a very, very deep and very, very impressive vacuum pose. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, the vacuum pose isn't really important in men's open bodybuilding. There's no point in him doing it. But obviously, you guys know I disagree with that. And I think it's going to be interesting to see if he does this vacuum pose on stage, which I'm assuming he's going to, and that's why he's been practicing it, how his vacuum pose will make his physique look in a lineup like this and how he's going to place with that vacuum pose. This is a show that typically you wouldn't expect Juan Morel to win, to be honest with you guys. So wouldn't it be cool to see a guy like Juan, who does have an incredible physique, make some, pretty significant changes to his posing routine, adding in the vacuum pose, and maybe that vacuum pose puts him over a little bit and gives him the win here. Now, that would be something very cool to see. And that's one of the things that I'm most excited about watching this show, to see how Juan does and how that vacuum pose looks on stage, because it's just something we don't really see that often. Now, you also have Lionel Ecchi in this lineup. Now, Lionel has been a guy that's been a wild card in good lineups for many, many years. He's a guy that we've said many times, the conditioning is hit or miss, and his placing is going to be dependent on whether or not he comes in condition. And time after time, he has come in lacking condition, leading to a lackluster placing. Now, Lionel was actually supposed to do the Arnold Classic in Columbus, Ohio, but he pulled out at the last minute due to some visa or passport issues. He wasn't able to get that stuff squared away on time for the Arnold, Ohio. So that was kind of disappointing because I think he actually would have done well in the Arnold, Ohio lineup. So I think this show here is another possibility for him to be a wild card and another opportunity for him to be a top 3 guy here. Now, next on the list, you have a guy named This Obiad. Now, I don't know if this is a typo here and they meant to say Essa Obiad, which I think might be the case. But in any case, they have it listed on their website, This Obiad is competing. But I'm kind of thinking they're meaning Essa Obiad here. And then finally on this list, you have Akeem Williams. And I'm very excited to see Akeem's name on this list. Akeem just did very, very well at the Indy Pro a week ago. Taking second at the Indy Pro, a lot of people thought he should have won. A lot of people were saying it was his best package that he's ever brought to a bodybuilding stage. So I'm happy to see Akeem Williams confirming that he's going to compete in a lineup like this, because I really want to see Akeem win a pro show. I don't want to see him qualify for the Olympian points. I want to see Akeem finally get a really good pro victory. I think winning in a lineup like this would be fantastic for him. And I think, to be honest with you guys, in all likelihood, Akeem is probably the favorite to win here. Now, assuming that long flight to South America doesn't entirely screw up his conditioning, if he comes in anything like he looked at the Indy Pro, I think he's certainly the front runner in this lineup, and you're probably going to see a victory from Akeem Williams unless something drastic happens in terms of conditioning from the Indy to this show. But I'm thinking that Akeem, Rafael, Lionel, and Juan are going to be the main guys to watch in this show. If I had to bet money on it, I'd go Akeem in first, Rafael in second, Lionel in third, and Juan in fourth. But like I said, you never know. Juan Morel might come out of nowhere, with a completely transformed physique and place extraordinarily well here. So that's the update for you guys for the Arnold Classic South America. Only 7 competitors here, so not the deepest lineup, but I still think it's a pretty interesting lineup in terms of seeing who's going to come out on top here. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Nick Strength and Power, signing out.